All right, welcome to the stream, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in or watching this after it's been streamed. Today, I am going to make this as short as possible. So, as you can see, just from how the project looks, it's not all that much. It's not too complicated. But today, I'm just going to be deconstructing a remix that I did. Um, yeah, back in 2020 into 2020 in anticipation for a whole lot of red. This is unreleased Carti song, and I remixed it. I just got the acapella from YouTube, and it's I think it's called Cake or Can't Relate. So yeah, the full song right now it's out on my SoundCloud, and there should be a link to it in the description if you are interested in listening to it. But for now, we'll just get into the deconstruction. So this beat, it's actually been a while since I've looked at the project file, and it's actually really simple now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, it started out with a sample, I believe a cymatic sample actually, and I just put it into Slice X. And so let me see if there's a way I can hear just what it sounds like originally. Yeah. So that's the original sample, just what it sounds like. What I did, let's see if I can see a value. I pitched it up. It looks like 38 cents. And then after that, just you can go into Slice X, and I think I put this on medium. So like every whatever, it'll slice it up right exactly on the beat, and then after that, I think I just got my MIDI keyboard and just started playing around with stuff until it sounded right. So yeah, that sample that I just played, pitched up, sounds like these samples. And so yeah, I mean, I just kind of like, I think I literally just, I just kind of came up with something, and then eventually I got this. And in fact, there's actually some filters going on the master. So yeah. So that's the loop, and I like that just instantly struck me as like sounding like something Carti would hop on. So there's actually two variants of that, if I can find the other one. Yeah, so here's the other one. And there's only one really difference. There's like a vocal chop right there. So you can do that, and then in the other one, it's not there. And that was just kind of like, I was listening to it and I was like, all right, that vocal is like really loud, and just having it on loop a bunch gets pretty annoying. So some effects and by the way, since I've looked and reviewed this project, I've gotten so many new plugins. I'm sorry, me and my friends just have a debate about this. But yeah, I got a lot of new plugins, and I haven't applied a lot of these to this project. But anyways, here's what I have. I have a low pass. So without it, oh wow, oh yeah, because there was bass in there. So I it looks like I was cutting that out because I wanted to add my own bass. So here's without anything. So yeah, I mean at that point you can tell it's like really choppy, like dun 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 dun. That's reverb kind of takes that away, so it's everything's flowy, and then also getting rid of that bass note. Wider. This is free. You can get this on Polyverse, whatever. It's free. It's basically just makes it more stereo, less mono. And then Sound Goodizer, as always. And I like it, so I wouldn't really change anything about that. But I'm sure there's some plugin that would just make it sound crazy. So yeah, that's where everything stems from. And then in the arrangement, I just kind of put the one with the vocal here and there to kind of when it felt appropriate. So yeah. Anyways, so there's that, and then on the melodics too, I kept on. I really want to make a lot of melodics. So there's really only 3 melodic elements. Here's the second one. And it's barely noticeable at all. If I go here, I'll take off the effects. I got this, I think it's a synth, and I just bounced it, so that's why you're seeing it's in an audio form. But I don't know if I have the MIDI anywhere. Let me see. Nope. Okay, so I don't have this, but this is where I got this sound from, is in Labs, which is what I used for the other sound. And I think I just put the MIDI from the other one, from the first pattern, into here, and I got this. Really spooky. But it's like there's also something really nice about that. And then convoller, fruity convoller, what this does is it makes it really it's like crazy reverb almost. It just makes it super insanely faded. So, and I even dialed it down. Let me see. I'll copy this value and then I'll turn it all the way down so you can see what it can do. Or turn it. You know what? Never mind. I don't know how to show that, but so convoller basically serving as a reverb, cutting out some of the lows, and then some compression. At the time, I did not know how to use a compressor, so this is really only there to add some gain. And it looks like I also had it panned to the left to make it more even. But yeah, so that's the second one. You barely hear it, and I spent a lot of time trying to get it to where it was like just right in the mix, to where it wasn't too loud and wasn't too quiet, but I think it adds a lot of atmosphere to it, and I really like when it comes in and out. And then lastly, apart from the 808, this is the last melodic thing, and I do have the actual synth open. So this is from Labs, which is free, and all this stuff is free. This is synth pad number 9. And wow, that sounds just super nostalgic. Honestly, sounds like something from After Hours. That is, yeah, that's just nice. Compress, basically just adding gain, and then I did this Fruity Love filter, and then I put this on, I think, one of the gate presets, and then dialed it down a lot. So now basically it's cutting in and out. Basically, it's basically like LFO. I didn't have LFO tool at that time. And this comes in at like a really big break in the beat, and you kind of hear it building a lot of anticipation. And I think musically and like theoretically, I don't know the music theory behind what I did, but I think that I accomplished something really dope with how the 808 went along with this. So I'll just play that. Oh, and without Carti's vocals as well. Also, this is on a fader, so it's gradually getting louder because I just want to fade it in. And it felt really nice along with one of the notes that the 808s was playing. But yeah, so there's that, and it basically stays and remains for, you know, the whole second verse, I guess, if that's what you would call it. Now onto drums. Let me just check how long I've been going for, if I can. Okay, 9 minutes. Again, trying to keep this going fast. All right. So for drums, I mean, this is always kind of boring, but yeah, just there's 2 kicks on here. This is the one that's going throughout the verse, and then this is another pattern that I have special for building anticipation leading up to the second verse. And then there's another kick, and that is basically almost serving as a snare on top of the other kick to just give it more power. So together those two kicks sound like this. So yeah, it kind of just adds a little bit of texture to that one kick, and there's nothing wrong with having multiple kicks as long as it's mixed right. Like, actually, yeah, there can be a lot of stuff wrong with having multiple kicks, so just be careful about that. Now, really simple clap. Like, I did not do anything special here. Oh yeah, and with the kick, I did use a lot of plugins to make it hit harder. And then that compressor is literally just there for gain, because I did not know what compression did at the time. These hi-hats, oh yeah, I got that clap from Kanye West song Yikes. And so just go on Reddit, you'll find all the sounds that you need. These hi-hats are also from Pure Born, who does a lot of Carti stuff. So yeah, so these are, there's actually a really, hold on, let me do something now just so you guys can see what like a modern day mix would look like. If you have headphones on, you probably notice that really weird low frequency. That's better. So yeah, that's just like, that's kind of what I'm talking about with like the new plugins that I got. It's just random stuff like that. Now here's the 808, and there's like so many different 808 patterns. Looks like 3. Yeah, so for I think it's actually too loud. And you even see I had saturation knob on it. It's crazy. Oh my gosh, just listening to it by itself hurts my ears actually. What this EQ is doing is it's serving as a side chain. So when it goes along with the kick, it's going to, this thing right here, it's going to dip. And basically the reason I'll show you how I did that, but the reason I do that is like when you have an 808 and a kick just clashing, it never sounds good. It almost never sounds good. And so when, you know, the 808 can just kind of be quieter when the kick comes in, it's super helpful. And just the easy way to do that in FL Studio is coming to a plugin called Peak Controller. And you'll want to raise the bass to about midway, and then customize the volume. This knob right here, pan it to the left, and just however far left it is, that's how much sound you're going to be taking out every time the kick hits. And then go to an EQ on the master EQ right here, right click, and then you'll see link to controller. I don't know if you can see what I just saw right now because of just how the way that the streaming thing works. Then hopefully you can see this panel right here, and then click Peak LFO. So that is what you're going to want to click. Accept. Boom. There you go. Then you have yourself a side chain. There's probably an easier way to do that, but that's just how I've been taught. So yeah, then for the verse, the pattern on the 808, I mean, one thing that I can say that I did, you'll see for this whole first verse, there's only one 808 pattern. So I did not repeat any because I just wanted there to be a lot of variety. And yeah, it just, when you have something as simple as this, repetitiveness it can be really obnoxious. So adding variety is just, you know, really important. Also, there was so many times that I listened back to it on my own, and I was like, oh man, I'm just hearing something different in my head. And so it eventually got to the point where I wanted to make so many tweaks that I just, you know, had it fill out. And then I don't think I ever use, oh yeah, I reused this pattern only one time near the end. Then I have this second pattern, which is what builds anticipation, especially over whatever chord I was playing. Oh, I forgot to show the MIDI for the labs, actually. Let me show you that real quick. So that is the chord, which is not something I would play normally on the piano. I don't recognize that. I usually play major 7th chords. And this, I don't think that actually gets used, but yeah. Oh yeah, okay, so that's where it was right there. That was the 2nd chord right there. Right here. When the 808, oh wait, no, that's the same chord. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know music theory, but that is the exact thing that I'm talking about, when you have one chord playing and then there's another thing and it's going to change a note and it makes that one chord sound completely different. So the 808's going to just play a different note, but this one chord is going to sound different. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I love that so much. And so right here you can see I had it extra loud because I wanted to make sure that chord was coming through. So yeah, there, and then I was on the 808. So just the one note hitting over and over again, like every 3 something. Pretty basic. I mean, it just kind of came to mind. And then for the 2nd verse, yeah, so the 2nd verse 808 pattern just more echoes the pattern that I had to build anticipation for the 2nd one, rather than the 1st one, which I did not have that anticipation in mind when I created that. Hi-hats, what else is there? So now just some basic percussions. Yeah, I mean everybody's doing that. This I think comes in every every 4 bars, yeah. And it's just this pure-born gunshot sound effect. It's actually you probably wouldn't notice it in when you're listening to it, but it's there. And I made sure to keep it more quiet. And what is this? So yeah, I'm really, really big into percussions. Like, that's probably the most important part of a beat for me, apart from melodics, like making sure your percussions are right. And I'm not talking about kick, snare, hi-hats. I'm talking about all the other stuff, the little like this stuff like this. All of that is super important to me, and that's what makes some of my favorite songs, is how diverse and just almost complicated and just groovy like the percussions are. So yeah, I guess I'll just play the percussions on all together. It's mad simple, like anybody can do this. Hold on, there's even another frequency that I don't like in there. So okay, I don't know how to get rid of it. Okay, so then it would just be on to Carti's. But here, real quick, since I'm just going through this, I'll show you guys how to get rid of like a tail end frequency that you might not like on a hi-hat. So if you have headphones and you're really attentive, you can probably hear there's a little click sound. Mess with these knobs. So there's one way you can do that, which is by changing at what time it starts, and then also you can just change the out knob to kind of get rid of a lot of the tail of the hi-hat. So yeah, that seems to help a lot actually. And you can see it right there. That's there's a tiny point. But okay, so that should be it. I mean, on the master, you can hear I have some filter. I have a high pass filter. I don't remember what Bittersweet was doing, but I just have again another EQ, just taking out a lot of bad frequencies, and then I automated this top filter to kind of slowly reveal more of the high end. It's childhood. Can we relate? Can we debate? Oh my gosh, I love it. Really proud of this one. It all started with a cymatics sample, man. Cymatics is questionable, don't get me wrong, but sometimes they come in clutch. So then I just put my tag. I almost always, on like trap beats that I make, I almost always use this whatever. It's like it serves as a riser basically. Then yeah, for Carti's vocals, basically I pitched them up a lot actually. If you know the song, oh my gosh, what was that? Can we relate? Oh yeah, it's because I have. Can we relate? So I pitched them up a lot, and I got them to match the timing, which is kind of crazy that the beat's just in 130, but it works. There was, I think, a good amount of EQing to take out a lot of the bad frequencies you can see there, and even high end. Some distortion, and actually I'm really surprised at how little I did, but makes sense, I guess. A lot of heavy compression. Wow. Can we relate? And then of course I like to keep my music clean, so I just got rid of all the foul stuff. I'm pretty sure. I don't even remember. So yeah, you can say what you can have your opinion, feel however you feel about that. I respect it. Just for me personally, that's just how I rock. So okay, one thing I will say about arrangement is right here, like when he says, stop playing with me, man. Stop. Like, that's crazy. When he says, I got some money to spend. Dang, man, I'm crazy. Yeah, so I did a glide on the 808. Sorry, I'm not trying to brag or anything. That's just that is nice. So yeah, I mean, if you don't know how to do that, it's pretty simple. Just get your simple, and then press this button right here. That's the glide button, and then you'll press wherever you want it to go, and boom, there you go. So I also added the clap to hit twice, and right when it glides out. So yeah, it all comes together, and even you can just hear Carti's chains just clinging, man, like throughout the whole thing. It's like, it's almost as if I had added that as a texture to the beat. So like, apart from the hi-hats that you can obviously hear from the acapella, because you didn't actually get the raw acapella. It's like he used a filter, whoever did it. I'm in the bottle with walk. It's the walk. I can out of that. I don't need spin. Yeah, right there. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah. Spin. I don't need walk. I do the walk spin. I got some money to spin. So yeah, that's a nice like texture. And then like there was another song I think on Coloring Book where like Future has like his like there's like such clinging, and he's like, you can hear the chains when they cling. It was really tough. Like, yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say. What time? How long am I at? 23 minutes. All right, so that's pretty good. And then I just think I just kind of faded it out, and I repeated him saying like the hook or whatever for the end. But yeah, I mean, now what would I do? Okay, so on the master though, I have Fresh Air, which is crazy. If you don't have this, please get it. I'll play you without it and with it. So this is without Fresh Air. This plugin is free. Please get it. It will change your mixes, man. So off. Adds so much life to the beat, and I have it on a very high setting right here. 50 and 40 is pretty crazy. This is some compression for the whole beat, and then just some gain as well. Bittersweet, I don't think that was doing anything. I already talked about the EQ and the limiter. Now probably what I would do with some of the new stuff I got is I would add Soothe, because there's just, especially with Carti's acapella. Let's see, where is it? Especially with Carti's acapella, just because it wasn't actually an acapella, is like extracted from the actual song. There's just a lot of unwanted frequencies, so I'd probably add some of this right here. And it's crazy on CPU, so I hope this doesn't make my stream lag, but yeah, just something like this. And then you can hear, if I press delta, all this stuff it's gonna take out. Yeah, like that's a lot of unwanted frequencies. So just makes it a more easygoing listening experience. I'd also take the whole master down, then probably get some Pro L in here and just give it like a good amount of gain, and then, you know, reduce however much, like if I added 3 on here, I would take away 3. But yeah, apart from that, that's pretty much how I made this. If you want to listen to it, and unfortunately it's not the updated version with like all the new stuff, it is on my SoundCloud, and the link is in my bio if you click my link tree. So yeah, I mean, thank you for the people that watch me. I appreciate it, and I will see you guys hopefully soon. And sorry I haven't been doing really much on this channel, but I have plans, especially with the album. I promise you some pretty dope stuff is coming. So yeah, I'll see you guys in whatever comes next.